In this video, I embark on an exciting mission to uncover the difference between a longboard pop-up and a regular surfing pop-up, and why the former proves to be a longboarding game changer. This mini journey ended up being one of the most thrilling experiences I've ever had and resulted in one of my favorite moments in my surfing career, which prompted this mid-wipeout thumbs up.
That was unbelievable. And I'm beat.
This video takes place over the course of 3 separate testing sessions where, instead of doing the traditional pop like I normally do, I focused on doing this weird tail-heavy pop commonly used by skilled longboarders. A normal pop-up looks like this. It's a very fast movement with your hips that end with your feet right underneath your body. Doing this style of pop-up on a longboard ends with your feet a little farther forward, which is actually useful on some waves, but detrimental on others. The tail-heavy pop I'm testing in this video looks more like this. Instead of making the quick popping movement with your hips, you just do a one-footed push-up with your back foot while you bring your front foot forward. This ends with you being way back on the board, which I imagine would cause its own issues, and it does, but when done properly, it improves other aspects of longboarding that I never even considered, some of which I learned on day 1. I really wanted to try this new pop-up technique in all different types of waves. Luckily, in New Jersey, we do get variety. We can get steep and fast, or we can get slower and flatter. Though the waves on this day were excellent, they were on the faster side, and I figured this would be the craziest of the testing sessions, but I assumed wrong. I noticed a tiny problem straight away. On one of my first waves, I performed the initial pop-up well, but then you see my foot slide up a little bit. This happened naturally because I knew there was no way I'd have enough momentum to drop in. I just felt way too far back on the board, and I knew I'd lose the wave if I didn't adjust. I made a quick change for the next wave, and it worked out much better. Since this longboard pop-up ends with you way on the tail, you have to make sure your board is traveling down the face of the wave and has speed before you pop up. Not something I'm used to. Normally I pop up when I feel the power of the wave, and then I just turn whenever I want. Well, with this pop-up, it's not quite like that. You have to have speed and be ready for the turn the second you pop up. Before we cover the final problem I had, let's talk about the good. Control, control, control. Before today, anytime I was way back on the tail was due to me cross-stepping back to it. I got so used to surfing about a foot in front of the leash plug that anytime I was actually far back, the board felt way too loose and squirrely. However, starting out on the tail directly after the pop was a new feeling of control that I've never felt before. Even on these steeper, faster waves, I felt so flowy and in control, and it made the setup for a nose ride cake. It almost looked like I knew what I was doing some of the time. All felt very good, but I knew I still needed work. After reviewing the footage from day 1, I noticed how little my shoulders were opened on some of these backside takeoffs. Backside takeoffs are already a little more difficult, and dropping in with my shoulders closed like this helps nobody. I knew exactly what I had to do to fix this and was very excited for the practice I'd get on day 2. That was until I got to the beach.
I had so many plans, and that is all now out the window because the waves are unbelievable. I mean, I don't think I've seen waves peel this long ever in Jersey. All right, so I am running back to get suited up. This is nuts. I can't wait for this. Wow, look at this wave. Look at I know you can't see the wave, but you can at least see the white water. Look at it peeling, 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 peeling. That's enough of this. Gotta get suited up.
I've learned since starting this channel that when the waves are this good, I have to stop working on technical aspects of my surfing, stop thinking about the video I'm creating, and just go out and have a good time. I tried to speed up Anthony's ETA by sending him this video.
Look at this outside wave, ready? Watch this thing peel. It's gonna be fun.
When he showed up, we went out and did exactly that, have a good time, and man, was it good.
surfing if I had any breath left, but I'm done for. Whew. Those days don't come around too often, so you have to appreciate them when they're here.
Even though I spent the session enjoying myself, I did throw in a couple of longboard pop-ups. And once again, the control you have when you surf off the tail like this is unreal. Even though I'm not even close to mastering it, my flow and style has already improved, even on these tricky waves. However, still dropping in with that closed shoulder, which brings us to day 3.
All right, my last and final day. The last 2 sessions were amazing, but today it looks a little bit more like one of those days where you can really work stuff out. More manageable, smaller. It's like one of those days you could just mess around a little bit, which is what I needed. Hopefully I can get that backside pop up right. The front side, it's easy. It's really not that hard. It's that backside that's so hard to look over that right shoulder. Hopefully all my changes I make today will be perfect. But you know, let's see what happens.
There are 3 changes I'll be making today. First will be to leave my back foot on its toes in more of this drop knee position. That, coupled with pointing my right hand towards the face, should open my shoulders plenty.
What's up, Brian?
Hey!
You jumping in?
Yeah.
Nice.
And lastly will be to lock my eyes down the line. It's very easy to get lost when trying new things, but looking where I need to go is something that I must do. I started off with this very weak attempt, but at least my body position was correct. And then on the second wave, I just forgot about body position completely, but I really flowed on this wave nicely. I was quite happy with it. And then, shortly into the session, the planets aligned, and I did everything correctly. Well, except for that last part. Directly after that wave, I do it again. Probably not as well, but at least I stayed on my feet and rode the rest of the wave. Aside from late takeoffs, I'll be doing this longboard pop-up on nearly every wave in the future. The control it gives you is unreal, and it made the board come alive. That being said, a backside faded takeoff is an advanced maneuver for sure, and I'll need plenty more practice with it. You have to give this pop-up a try and let me know how it goes in the comments. Performing it correctly will put you in the perfect position to start cross-stepping and nose riding, so watch this video next to learn a couple secrets that I wish someone told me when I started cross-stepping.